The New York Jets just got a lot more scary as the team has made their second blockbuster move in 2 days, as Jets general manager Darren Mougey has been activated, and the future is starting to look even brighter for the New York Jets, as everyone is loving this right now. We're going to break all this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here. We're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys are not part of that percentage that is subscribed to the channel, if you're part of that percentage that's not subscribed, you got to make sure to subscribe. We got daily videos like this coming out. Training camp is coming up pretty soon, and we're gonna have a lot to go over once we do get there. But even still now, there's a lot of news coming out. One of the biggest storylines, probably, you know what, definitely the biggest storyline around the NFL today, is about none other than New York Jets superstar Sauce Gardner. Gardner, widely viewed as the best player on the entire Jets roster, had the greatest start to a defensive back's career in NFL history over his first 2 years in the league, and now that man is getting paid like it as well, as Adam Schefter broke the news that Jets and cornerback Sauce Gardner reached an agreement on a 4-year deal that ties him to the team for the next 6 seasons through 2030. It's the same structure and length as Garrett Wilson's deal on Monday, and Gardner's deal includes $60 million guaranteed. Gardner will be getting paid an average annual value of around $31 million per year, and there's just a lot that's been going on. Now, I mean, as mentioned, Sauce Gardner had the greatest start through 2 games for his NFL career, and I mean, just when you look at everything, you could tell Sauce Gardner is really, really happy. He posted a photo saying the deal is done. This is only the beginning, and we got it done, basically shouting out his agents after that and saying that he appreciates the Jets organization for believing in him, his teammates, for everything that they've went through, the blood, sweat, and tears that they've put in to this Jets nation, and he said that he appreciates all the fans as he said thank you and go Jets. He posted a photo of himself along Manhattan's West Side Highway, kind of just posing, hanging out, having a good time. And Matt, one of the best players the Jets have had over the last, 50 years, is now with the team for at least the first 9 seasons of his career.
Well, you absolutely love to see it. And I love to see that the front office is making moves correctly, and signing these guys over the summer is the exact correct way you're going to do it. We know the prices of these young players only go up. If we waited another year for Sauce Gardner, he would have been more expensive. We waited another year for Garrett Wilson, he would have been more expensive. Even by the month, these guys can go up. Don't say that all the GMs are smart enough to do this. Last year, Cincinnati, let it drain, let the contract talks linger all the way into training camp, and it messed them up to start their season. Same thing with the Dallas Cowboys. Not every GM is smart enough to do this. It's a great green flag that Darren Mougey is smart enough to realize that these guys need to be signed. Absolutely love watching Sauce Gardner sign this record-breaking contract. And we have been fighting people in the comments over talking about how he is, of course, deserving to be the #1 paid cornerback in the history of the NFL. Like you said, no one has ever started their career like this. Sauce Gardner, maybe year 3 wasn't an elite season, but it was still a solid season. They don't make cornerbacks like this. We are fortunate to be lucky enough to draft a cornerback who is worthy of a contract like this. Love the gamesmanship of him getting $0.1 million per year more than Derek Stingley Jr. He is no longer the highest paid corner in the league and doesn't deserve to be. Let's go, Sauce Gardner. Now it's time to prove it out on the football field.
I'm excited to watch Sauce now getting paid that big money. There's no one who's really deserved a contract like this from the Jets as much as Gardner. The amount he's done for this team already has been impressive. And as mentioned, I mean, now we look at the highest value contracts when we look at just overall value, and we see that right up there at the top is none other than Sauce Gardner. Now, Sauce, he has become everything the Jets could have asked for and way more when he got brought on to this team all those years ago. And look, I mean, when it comes down to it, Gardner has been so much better than expected in every way, just based off you cannot expect what Gardner's been able to put up throughout his career. And look, it's absolutely huge to see this get done. Now, PFF mentioned soon after the extension that Gardner, among cornerbacks since entering the league, has a 90.7 PFF grade. That is first a 43 forced incompletions. That is tied for first, and a 50.9% completion rate allowed. Matt, do you want to guess where that ranks?
First.
Yes, sir. He is now the highest paid cornerback in NFL history, has shown why he deserves to be that. And as Adam Schefter also mentioned, Sauce Gardner will now be under contract for the next 6 years at an average of $24.31 million, a 4-year extension for the $30.1 million average per year. Now both Gardner and Wilson are under contract and will be that way until the end of the 2030s or the end of the 2020s, excuse me. And when it comes to the extensions, we're now looking at these two massive ones. Sauce Gardner, 4 years, $120.4 million. Garrett Wilson, 4 years, $130 million. The Jets have just committed a ton of money to these guys, and look, it was absolutely the right move to do. Darren Mougey's correct. As you said, he got it done over the summer. He didn't let it linger, and that led to just success off the field for this team. Now, something that was mentioned by Zach Rosenblatt, Matt, is that the Jets front office wanted this deal done before training camp began. Now, maybe they thought, who knows, they might decide to hold out because they don't want to get injured before an extension, which is a fair thing for the players to do. But when you look at it, Mougey knew what he was doing, and as you said, it's a tremendous green flag for him to bring back probably the two most beloved Jets on this roster.
It was highly important because they are the cornerstone of both the offense and the defense. Quinnen Williams is also another cornerstone of the defense, but he's not the best at his position in the entire league the way Sauce is. Quinnen Williams, great player, but Sauce Gardner is the superstar, the premier player that the New York Jets defense boasts. A lot of those PFF stats were boosted from his first 2 years in the league. Last year obviously wasn't what anyone was expecting, but we know that a lot of the defense's underperformances from last year came from the fact that the coaching was absolutely horrific. Comes from the fact that the offense consistently puts our defense in bad spots. So we can not forget about last year, but we know Sauce Gardner, what his median is and what we can expect out of him going forwards is going to look closer to those first years. It might not be as good as those first years were, but it's going to look a lot closer to those first 2 years than what he looked like last year. Although, like I said before, 110% deserving of a contract like this. Sauce Gardner, more than we could have ever expected out of even the 4th overall pick. Really high draft pick, but I did not see this coming.
Neither did I. I mean, there was no way to see this coming. There's no way that when he got picked, and I mentioned this, I believe, yesterday as well, when we were watching that draft, when Gardner got picked, it was one of those situations of like, all right, let's see what he could do. And, I mean, I'll be honest, I knew a whole lot less about football in 2022 than I do in 2025, and I had absolutely no idea who Sauce Gardner was, but since they called him Sauce, I thought that was fun, so I was approving of the pick. And it was one of those situations that it was more, we'll see what happens, and from day one, it was very obvious how great he was, and I think something that's telling is the Jets went through a whole overhaul of this front office and coaching staff, and Wilson and Gardner stuck around. So they're doing something right here, because both these guys could have requested trades. And I mean, Sauce has been the one who's been more vocal about it, but both of them have been adamant that they want to be part of this change with the Jets. They don't want to go running for the hills. They want to see things change. They want to be the guys who are remembered for reviving the New York Jets. A lot of people would just be like, it's a bad business decision for me to do this. I'm going to get the hell out of here. And these guys didn't. So it's very telling of also this new front office able to get them done on extensions, and it wasn't really ever that stressful of a situation.
Historically, playing for the New York Jets is a bad business decision, but I am glad to have the guys who are dedicated to turning this thing around, and I can't wait to see what they can do.
Neither could I. Sauce, Garrett, it's great to have you guys around for the next rest of hopefully your primes and past that, and for every day you're in the NFL, because obviously both of you guys are now celebrating by watching Jets Digest. And who knows, maybe I'll eat another cupcake on screen. The fans loved that. Guys, like this video, subscribe, turn on post notification. Have a great day. That was a great cupcake. Go Jets.